really comes down to a couple of different components. First of all, electrification. As we know, whether it's Tesla, whether it's Rivian, whether it's a lot of our OEM partners that are really getting very aggressive in the space, we know the demand for EV vehicles will continue to skyrocket. Same thing on the market share side of the equation. So I think it transcends COVID or anything else, and I think the consumer demand is there. We're actually quite excited about it from our perspective, though, because our OEM partners are investing the time, money, and energy really into the space, and it affords us the ability to be able to retail those vehicles. Will selling cars online be the future, and is it here to stay? 100% yes. Here at Asbury, we feel that by 2025, 2026, it could be almost 50% of car sales that are out there in the used car space, and then of course in the new car space as SAR continues to grow. I think the car industry and the retail model as a whole hasn't really evolved in a very long time since the old horse trading day business. Consumers don't want to spend 3.5 hours, 4 hours inside of a dealership. They like the test drive. They like, taking a look at that car and the buying setup, but not necessarily the negotiation, not necessarily the finance process. It's about evolving that process, giving our people at the store level the ability to really be ambassadors, and really take it to the next level for the consumer there. Personally, I think it's very bright, but it needs some evolution and it needs some guidance. Right now, as it stands, there's 300 plus million vehicles on the road. They're all combustible engine vehicles that need servicing. And I think the difference between whether it's on the sales side or the service side, the ability to really evolve and really meet the consumer there, where you're taking human capital mixed with technology, and then you're really doing a better job of not only servicing the vehicles inside the service department, but ultimately bringing a better online sales transactional model. There's not been much evolution outside of the normal CRM culture that's been out there. So I think the future is very, very bright in that regard, but you will see consolidation. And more importantly, though, I think you're gonna see, though, that the human element is absolutely needed. If you look at any business that went online to brick and mortar or brick and mortar to online, right, the people component is absolutely needed in that regard, though. But I think we've got to give our folks the ability to really transact faster and become more efficient with their time, and that way, getting a little bit more throughput. We exclusively looked outside of auto when we were thinking about the way that the evolution of the industry and what an online product really needed to look like from a transactional perspective. Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, we looked at them because they really have taken the mortgage industry by storm and really provided a much better guest experience. Second pieces would be a company like LendingTree.com. LendingTree.com, though, was very innovative and still is today, and we took that segment there and that inspiration, and really our loan marketplace was the result of that. And then lastly, of course, Carvana. They brought forward a lot of nice thought in the space, though, about how you can do a transaction fully online. They're providing a guest experience for the consumer that's fast, quick, and transparent. So when we built ClickLane, really for us, though, was more so about evolving that process, taking maybe where they left off, and then providing the consumer a lot more transparency and the ability to do more online. It's a topic all dealers and all OEMs should really be asking themselves. It's going to become more transactional, it's going to become more digital, and it's going to become more in the moment, where you're utilizing rich data to really contact and connect with the consumer in multi channels. From a company perspective, we were able to reallocate many years ago from a very heavy traditional model, very heavy traditional spend, to a more digital spend, and really meeting the consumer where they're at. And it drove our efficiencies way through the roof, though, and our cost per sale really plummeted there. So, from an efficiency perspective, you're going to see a huge shift towards the digital space, though, and really meeting the consumer where they're at. And you might maybe think twice about doing that big TV campaign when you see a cost per view or cost per completed view, and really in a different space. The other point is really becoming more transactional in what we're doing, though. So product listing ads, really getting the consumer what they want really quickly and efficiently.